These are the major seventh type chords, minor seventh type chords, and dominant seventh type chords on the string family 1, 2, 4, and 5. The basic inversions in the starting voicing are from low to high: C, in C, G, E, and B. So you can see clearly they're two perfect fifths. So this is root, fifth, third, and seventh. If I invert, C goes to E, G to B, E to G, and B to C gives me E, B, G, and C. Invert again gives me G, C, B, and E. And one more time, the last inversion, B, E, C, and G. Okay, voice exchange can be used between B and C here, especially for this voicing. So B and C are swapped out. E, C, G, and B. Same here. Becomes G, B, C, and E. And here as well. This becomes C, E, B, and G. Now, to find the voicings, we're going to simply move one voice at a time and then combinations. We're going to use the augmented 11th for this. That's most commonly used on a major type. So, for instance, we move the B down to A. We won't move it to G to eliminate a doubling, so we'll move the A to F sharp. So we also have C, G, E, and F sharp. Going back to the original voicing, we'll move the E to D, C, G, D, B, and move it to F sharp. Now we'll do combinations. So the E can move to D, and the B will move to A, so all fits. Also C, G, D, and F sharp. Now from there we can also use C, G, F sharp, and A, etc. So any combination. Going back to the original, lower the fifth, C, F sharp, E, and B, or move it to A. Again, fifths type harmony, C, A, E, and B, and any combinations. C, F sharp, E, and A, for example. C, F sharp, D, and A, and so on. C, A, F sharp, and B. C, A, F sharp, and G. All have a C major type sound. Move the G down to E, and we open up another family of sounds. C, E, D, and A. C, E, D, and G, and then to F sharp, C, E, D, and F sharp. And then finally, from here, we can also move the bass note if we want to. We can move it maybe up to D. In general, trying to keep the C sound, even though we're moving the bass note. So the voicings will be broadly based on the root, third, fifth, and seventh. Moving to the next. The original voicing, we do the same thing. Move the top voice. Looks like an E minor 7. Has a C major type sound. Move the top voice to A, E, B, G, A. And maybe move E, C, G, and A. So maybe now E, C, G, and D. E, C, A, and D. Anything that creates a C major type sound. Even going backwards, this is an E minor 7, E, G, D, and B, but sounds like a C major. So typically anything that qualifies as a C major sound. E, F sharp, G, and C. Also E, G, F sharp, and C. E, G, A, and C. Back to this voicing. So now we can move the middle voice. G goes to F sharp. So E, C, F sharp, and B. Maybe move the top voice to D. Maybe move the middle voice now. B can go to A. Create a 6/9 sound. E, A, G, and C. E, A, G, and D. Okay. Now moving up to the D. So E, C, A, and D has that sound to it as well. And then moving the bass note too. So E to D. Sounds like an 11th chord as well. Okay. Now moving ahead to the G. Moving the top voice down to D. So that's G, C, B, and D. Move it up to F sharp. So it's G, C, B, and F sharp. And we'll go back to the original. Maybe move the middle voice, C to D. And it also looks like an E minor 7 as well. Now it looks like a G major 7, G, D, B, and F sharp. Okay, so both of those voices can move it down to D, to A and F sharp, so we can have E, C, A, F sharp, which sounds like a C major type voicing. Move the note on the D string now, E, C, and we can do B and D. And same thing. This is G, E, B, and F sharp. Again, over the C bass note, sounds like a C major. Going to our final, B, E, C, and F sharp we could do. We can move it to to A. Also, the top voice can move to D. So B, E, C, and D. Going back to this voicing, can move the middle voice up to D. So B, E, D, and G sounds like an E minor 7. Then move the top voice to A. That's B, E, D, A. And now if we do the voice exchange, which got us C, E, B, and G, we can move that to A. We can move it to F sharp. We can move it down to D. Additionally, from the B, we can move the middle voice down to C. So, B, C, A, E. B, C, A, D. So those are nice major 7 type voicings. Move it up to G. So we have B, C, A, and G. B, C, D, and G. So those all qualify as major 7 type voicings. And in general, there are voicings, for me anyway, there are voicings that go this way on the guitar, they go across, or they go up this way. So I might refer to that in that manner from now on. Voices that go back, voices that go across, and voices that sort of go up.